Welcome back everyone. Today, we're continuing with the next part of this series, called What If Goku Remembered the Saiyans? My name is Ash. Please, for me, drop a like and subscribe to the page. Also leave your comments down below. With that, let's begin. The bright tournament arena buzzed with noise, energy, and anticipation. Thousands of spectators leaned forward in their seats, craning their necks to see the next match. Down below, the stone-tiled ring sat like a battlefield waiting for its warriors. Krillin stepped into the ring, small in stature, but calm, confident. Across from him stomped a man twice his size and built like a fortress, Pintar, a giant wrapped in muscle and arrogance. Huh, Pintar chuckled, loud enough for the whole stadium to hear. Who let the baby into the ring? Krillin blinked. Don't make me laugh, he shot back coolly. I could beat you in 2 seconds. Oh, scary, Pintar grinned, stretching his thick arms behind his head. Tell you what, I'll give the baby a free punch. Won't even move. High above, the announcer leaned forward into his mic, shouting, "Ready, fight!" In the blink of an eye, Krillin vanished from sight. Zoom, a rush of wind in his place. Before Pintar could even flinch, Krillin reappeared right in front of him, fist cocked back. Thwack! His punch slammed straight into the giant's gut. Pintar's eyes went wide, and a strange choked sound came from his mouth as he doubled over, gasping. Ugh! He groaned. Krillin didn't wait. He twisted, spinning into a clean, sharp kick that snapped up into Pintar's jaw. Crack! The force launched the big man backward. Pintar's heavy frame crashed down hard, shaking the arena floor as he landed flat on his back. And he didn't get up. The crowd gasped. Some people blinked like they weren't even sure what just happened. Well, the announcer boomed, it appears that Pintar is down for the count. The winner of this match is Krillin. Cheers exploded from the crowd. Bardock, sitting near the edge of the stands, snorted with a grin. Big surprise, he said, folding his arms. That wasn't even a warm-up for Krillin. Up in the commentator's booth, the announcer held a hand to his earpiece. Since that match was so quick, he announced, we'll move straight to the next round. I need Yamcha and Tien to come to the ring now. The arena buzzed with excitement again as 2 new warriors approached from opposite sides. Yamcha strode in first, all casual confidence with a smirk on his face. Tien entered next, calm and focused, his 3 eyes scanning the arena. Yamcha cracked his neck. Promise not to break my leg this time? He joked. Tien smirked. I don't need to do that to beat you, he replied. I know you've gotten lazy with training. Yamcha narrowed his eyes, amused. That's what you think. I've been training just as hard as ever. The announcer's voice rang out again. For those of you new to the tournament, Yamcha and Tien have fought before in past competitions, and even against each other. Will Tien defeat Yamcha once more in this rematch? Let's find out. Begin. Yamcha dashed forward, fast, looking to land the first hit. His fist shot out toward Tien's face. Tien reacted instantly, smack, blocking the punch with his forearm. The crowd leaned forward as the 2 warriors launched into a flurry of attacks. Yamcha struck with fast jabs and sharp kicks, one after another, trying to break Tien's defense. But Tien blocked each one, moving like a veteran martial artist with a solid stance and sharp focus. Then, Yamcha called out, Wolf Fang Fist! His aura surged, his movements growing faster and fiercer. His strikes flowed like a hunting beast, sharp, wild, precise. With each motion, his fists slashed through the air like fangs. Tien tried to keep up, but couldn't block in time. Bam, bam, bam! The blows landed hard, rocking him backward. Yamcha ended the assault with a powerful spinning roundhouse kick that caught Tien across the jaw. Wham! The 3-eyed warrior went flying, tumbling across the ring before catching himself on one knee. Not bad, Tien said, brushing dust from his chest as he stood. Guess you haven't been as lazy as I thought. Yamcha grinned. Still want to keep calling it a warm-up? Tien narrowed his eyes. If it's all the same to you, I'm done warming up. The air suddenly shifted. Yamcha clenched his fist at his side and shouted. A bright red aura exploded around him as he activated Kaioken, his muscles tightening, eyes glowing with power. Whoomph! When the light faded, he stood tall, smirking, energy rippling from him in red waves. Let's go! He rocketed toward Tien, moving faster than most of the audience could follow. Tien growled and powered up as well, matching the energy flare. The ring trembled beneath the weight of their power. His elbow shot up just in time to block Yamcha's punch. Boom! and a shockwave rippled outward, rattling the crowd. In a flash, the fighters shot into the sky, high above the stadium. Blurs of motion streaked across the sky as they exchanged punches and kicks at lightning speed. Down below, Bulma leaned toward Kakarot. "Who do you think's gonna win?" she asked. Kakarot folded his arms and watched, eyes narrowed. "Hard to say, they're pretty even. Tien might have a slight edge, but it could go either way." Up above, Yamcha and Tien broke apart, both panting lightly, floating in the air. "I'm finishing this," Tien said, locking eyes with his rival. He held his hands up, fingers forming a triangle. His palms glowed bright yellow as energy gathered. "Tri-beam!" Yamcha dropped lower, cupping his hands at his side. His voice echoed across the sky. "Ka! Me! Ha! Me!" Tien's triangle flared with light. "Ah!" The yellow beam fired from Tien's hands, roaring toward Yamcha. Yamcha's energy ignited. "Ha!" A brilliant blue beam blasted from his palms. The two attacks collided mid-air in a blinding explosion of light. The force of the clash rippled across the entire stadium. The ground trembled as the crowd gasped, holding on to their seats. The sky lit up as the blasts struggled against each other. Slowly, painfully, Tien's tri-beam began to push Yamcha's Kamehameha back, inch by inch. Yamcha clenched his teeth, eyes wide. "I'm tired of losing," he yelled. "Kaioken X50!" His aura exploded outward again. Red lightning crackled around him, and his beam surged forward, overpowering Tien's blast. Tien barely had time to cross his arms as the massive wave of combined energy hit him dead on. Kaboom! The explosion lit the sky in white. The entire stadium shook violently. Screams and cheers filled the air as a massive shockwave swept across the field. Smoke poured from the sky. Two figures dropped through the clouds. One slammed onto his back outside the ring. The other landed inside, crashing to his knees, panting hard but still conscious. The smoke cleared. The announcer's voice rang out loud and clear. "We have a winner. Yamcha is the winner and will advance to the next round." The crowd had only just started to calm down after Yamcha's explosive victory. Up in the VIP viewing area, Hercule sat stiffly, sweat trickling down the back of his neck. His mustache twitched. Every blast, every clash of fists and energy in the air made him flinch in his seat. He couldn't help it. He'd seen battles like this before, back during the Cell games. Memories hit him hard. Cell's laughter, the overwhelming pressure in the air, the feeling of standing on the same stage as gods. He swallowed hard. Some people in the audience still believed he had defeated Cell that day. Hercule wasn't about to correct them, but now, watching warriors like Yamcha and Tien unleash power that cracked the sky, he knew the truth better than ever. He didn't belong here, not with them. He tapped his fingers nervously against the armrest. "How am I supposed to win this thing? Can we have Raditz and Mighty Mask to the ring, please?" The announcer called out. Raditz flew down with calm, determined steps. The tall Saiyan warrior landed with a loud thud, his spiky hair catching the wind as he narrowed his eyes at his opponent. From the other side, the mysterious figure calling himself Mighty Mask entered the arena. He was the same height as Raditz, but everything else about him screamed weird. A baggy white sheet hung over him like a cape, and a bright blue mask covered his face. The whole outfit looked like something out of a kid's school play. Still, Raditz didn't laugh. He stared at the masked fighter with a deep frown. His instincts, honed by battles across galaxies, were buzzing. Something's off, he thought. He's not putting out much power, but it's too controlled, too fake. Up in the stands, Kakarot watched closely, arms folded. "Something's not right about that Mighty Mask guy," he said out loud. Bardock nodded beside him. "I thought it was just me," he said. "He just feels weird." Bulma rolled her eyes, but leaned forward. "Raditz knows what he's doing," she said. "Come on, he's one of the strongest fighters in the universe. I'm sure he can handle anything this guy throws at him." "I hope you're right," Kakarot replied, not taking his eyes off the ring. "Fight!" the announcer shouted. For a moment, nothing happened. Raditz stood tall, waiting. His tail swayed slightly behind him. He could feel it. The masked fighter wasn't showing his real strength. He wanted to see how much. But before Raditz could even shift into a defensive stance, zoom, Mighty Mask was already there. "What?" Raditz's eyes went wide as a barrage of punches slammed into him. Bam, bam, bam! The air cracked with each hit as Mighty Mask's fists pounded into Raditz's chest, stomach, and jaw. with shocking speed and precision. Raditz tried to block, to counter, but he was already behind. Crack! A kick smashed into Raditz's ribs, flipping him backward. But before he even hit the ground, Mighty Mask zipped behind him and crack! A final blow, straight to the back of the head, sent Raditz spiraling through the air. He crashed down hard, bouncing off the arena floor before sliding to a stop, face down. Gasps erupted through the crowd. "It appears that Raditz may be down," the announcer yelled, stepping into the ring cautiously. "The count will begin. 1, 2, 3, 4. Raditz twitched, but didn't get up. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mighty Mask is the winner. The arena went silent for a beat. Then the murmurs started. Krillin leaned forward in his seat, eyebrows furrowed. "Did you feel that guy's power rise?" he asked sharply. Bardock crossed his arms, tense. Raditz never even saw it coming. That wasn't just speed. That was precision. Whoever that guy is, he knows how to fight. "I don't know who he is," Kakarot muttered, eyes still fixed on the masked fighter. "But I'm going to face him in the next round. I better be ready." Out in the crowd, deep in the shadows of the stadium, a figure in a dark black cloak let out a low, chilling laugh. "I will have my revenge on all of you," he whispered under his breath. No one noticed him. Not yet. Back in the private viewing box, Raditz stomped in, rubbing the back of his head. His scouter was cracked, his pride bruised even worse. Vegeta stood with arms crossed and a smirk curling across his face. "What was that?" Vegeta said, chuckling. "Since when did a mighty Saiyan warrior get dropped by a weakling human?" Raditz growled. "I don't know what happened," he snapped. "He powered up so fast and focused it so well, I didn't even get the chance to transform. I didn't know there was anyone that strong on Earth who wasn't one of us," Bardock said with a frown. "I don't like this," Kakarot said. "Even now, I still can't read his full power. It's like he's hiding more." Vegeta snorted. "He can't possibly be a match for a Super Saiyan," he said with pure confidence. "After I crush you," he pointed at Kakarot, "I'll handle him myself." "Can we have Bardock and Jewel down to the ring for the next match?" The announcer's voice echoed across the stadium. Bardock stood up, already glowing with golden light. His Super Saiyan form shimmered, his hair raised and glowing, his eyes cold and focused. Bulma raised an eyebrow. "What's with the blonde look? Surely you don't need to be a Super Saiyan to beat anyone in this tournament." "I'm just being cautious," Bardock said, his expression serious. "I don't want what happened to Uncle Raditz to happen to me." Raditz gave his nephew a sharp glare that could have melted steel. "Just shut up," he muttered. Bardock chuckled as he walked out. "Sorry," he called back with a grin, "but you did get beaten pretty bad." The crowd stirred with anticipation. Cheers, whispers, and the excited chatter of thousands rolled through the arena like thunder. The sky above the stadium was crystal clear, but the energy in the air felt heavy, charged with the power of the last few matches. The announcer's voice boomed once again, energizing the entire stadium. "Are you ready to witness the next incredible fight in a tournament that has already been full of incredible fights?" All eyes turned to the ring as Bardock stepped forward, his golden aura flickering faintly as he stared across at his next opponent. In one corner, the announcer continued, "We have Bardock Briefs, son of the former world champion, Kakarot." Cheers exploded from one side of the arena. Others in the crowd were murmuring. "Bardock has recently challenged Hercules Satan's claim that he defeated Cell," the announcer went on, his voice rising with drama, stating that it was in fact he who defeated the monster during that fateful battle. Gasps, scoffs, and mutters rippled through the audience like wind through tall grass. "And he'll be facing a relative newcomer to the fighting scene, Jewel." From the opposite side of the ring, Jewel raised a hand with a smirk. He had slick hair, a confident grin, and no real sense of the kind of warrior standing before him. Up in the stands, the crowd wasn't exactly buying the Cell story. "There's no way that kid beat Cell," a man muttered, arms folded. "You kidding?" said the guy next to him. "I saw him fight Cell before the cameras cut out. He was dominating, unlike Hercule, who got smacked out of the ring with one hit. He lost his footing," the first man shot back. "When you're as strong as Hercule, one slip-up can send you flying miles." "Right," the second guy scoffed. "Only an idiot would believe that. Hercule's a fraud who took credit. He'll get his butt kicked when he faces Kakarot or Bardock, if he even makes it that far." Down in the ring, the announcer gave the signal. "Ready, Fight! Jewel didn't waste a second. He launched forward with a spinning kick aimed straight at Bardock's face. But Bardock didn't even flinch. He tilted his head slightly, letting the kick pass harmlessly by. Jewel didn't stop. He threw a flurry of punches and kicks, each one fast and flashy, but none of them even grazed Bardock. Whiff, whiff, whiff! The golden-haired teen stood perfectly still, eyes calm, arms at his sides, letting Jewel wear himself out. Finally, Bardock sighed. All right, enough. In a blink, Bardock leapt forward and drove his foot into Jewel's chest. Thoom! The impact echoed like a cannon blast. Jewel's body went airborne, soaring across the ring before crashing hard into the far stadium wall. He hit the grass outside the ring and slid down into a heap, unconscious. The audience gasped. After not being able to land a single punch on Bardock, the announcer declared, Jewel is taken out with one kick. Bardock will advance to the next round. The ring reset quickly. Now it was Piccolo's turn. He stepped into the arena slowly, arms crossed, his sharp eyes locked onto his opponent, Yamu. Yamu looked average. He was tall and lean with dark eyes and a serious face. But Piccolo didn't sense anything special. The Namekian warrior barely acknowledged him. Ready, fight! The announcer called. Yamu charged, fists raised, yelling as he ran toward Piccolo. But before he could even swing, wham! A casual backhand from Piccolo sent Yamu flying out of the ring like a rag doll. The crowd stared in silence as Yamu crashed into the grass. The announcer blinked. Yamu is out of the ring. Piccolo is the winner. Piccolo didn't say a word. He turned and walked away like nothing happened. Backstage, the tension rose again. Next, the announcer's voice echoed across the stadium. We have the champion himself, Hercules Satan, going up against Popovich. Will both contestants please report to the ring? The crowd roared as Hercule marched into the ring, cape flowing behind him, fists raised high like a hero entering a battlefield. Spopovich stood opposite him, tall, muscular, and with long flowing brown hair that whipped in the breeze. His body looked built, but his stance was sloppy. To Hercule, that was all he needed to see. This guy's an amateur, Hercule thought. I've got this in the bag. Ready, fight! Spopovich charged first, throwing a wild punch at Hercules' chest, but Hercule blocked it, deflecting the blow with his forearm. The crowd gasped. Hercule grinned and went on the attack. He threw punch after punch, pushing Spopovich back. To his credit, Spopovich blocked a few, just enough to stay standing, but Hercules' strength and rhythm were relentless. Bam, bam, bam! Finally, Hercule saw his opening. He leaned back, twisted his body, and launched his finishing move. Megaton Punch! Crash! His fist connected with Spopovich's face, and the man dropped like a sack of bricks, completely out cold. The crowd went wild. Spopovich is out cold! The announcer cried. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hercule is the winner. Hercule raised both fists high, basking in the roar of the crowd. Though he knew deep down, that was a close one. The stadium trembled under the pressure of what was coming next. Everyone in the crowd leaned forward, eyes wide, breath held. They weren't just watching a tournament match. They were watching a rivalry explode. Kakarot stood in the center of the ring, arms loose at his sides, calm smile on his face. Across from him stood Vegeta, his longtime rival, the proud prince of all Saiyans, arms crossed, eyes narrow, aura smoldering like a fire, just waiting for fuel. Kakarot tilted his head slightly. Are you ready for this? Vegeta didn't hesitate. I'm ready to put you in your place. Fight! The announcer shouted. Boom! The fighters vanished. In the stands, even the most experienced warriors could barely keep up. To the regular crowd, it looked like the two vanished, and the air just exploded. Up in the sky, flashes of gold and crackling energy collided mid-air as the two warriors traded a blinding storm of punches and kicks. Their movements were too fast for most eyes to follow, but the sound, that deep, echoing boom of impact after impact, shook the bones of everyone watching. Kakarot moved with more ease, his strikes sharper, more efficient. He slowly pushed Vegeta back, blow by blow, forcing him closer and closer to the edge of the ring. Vegeta skidded to a stop right at the edge. Not bad, he growled. Then he shot into the air, flipping back and launching several sharp blasts of energy down at Kakarot. Each one whistled through the air, glowing bright blue. But Kakarot didn't flinch. With a calm look, he swatted each blast aside like flies. "Are you done fooling around?" he called up. Vegeta clenched his fists, his aura flaring wildly around him. A deep growl escaped his throat as the ground below cracked from the rising force. He screamed. Golden light exploded from him, his muscles tensed, his energy spiked, and lightning began to snake through the air around his body. His hair shot up even more, sharper, spikier. His eyes gleamed with deadly focus. The prince had ascended. Super Saiyan 2. From above, the sky flickered like a storm cloud rolling in. Kakarot raised his eyebrows, impressed. "Looks like you're done with the warm-up." He smirked, and without a word, let his own power surge. Gold wrapped around him like fire. But instead of rising in stages, Kakarot skipped straight into Super Saiyan 2. No delay, no buildup. The moment he transformed, the energy from his body dwarfed Vegeta's, flooding the stadium with pressure. Vegeta's eyes narrowed. "While you've been off goofing around," he snapped, "I have been training non-stop. I'm stronger now than you were when you fought Cell. I will beat you." Kakarot's smile didn't fade. "That might be true," he said. "If I hadn't trained at all." Vegeta shouted and launched himself at Kakarot with everything he had. But in a blink, Kakarot used instant transmission and vanished, reappearing behind the prince. Wham! A swift kick to the back sent Vegeta soaring high into the sky. The crowd gasped before Vegeta could catch himself. Kakarot appeared above him now and brought both fists down like hammers. Crash! Vegeta hit the arena floor with enough force to crack the ring, creating a crater under his body, but he wasn't done yet. With a snarl, Vegeta launched back into the air, fists flying in a fury of attacks. He threw punch after punch, kick after kick, each blow strong, sharp, and fast, but Kakarot blocked every single one, barely moving, like he was reading every move before it came. Then, Kakarot struck. A single punch into Vegeta's face sent him reeling. The prince stumbled back, but before he could recover, swoop! Kakarot teleported again and unleashed a brutal combo of strikes from behind. His fists and feet moved in a blur, slamming into Vegeta's body with devastating force. Vegeta tried to block, tried to dodge, but he couldn't keep up. Even at Super Saiyan 2, Kakarot was faster, stronger. Then came the final blow. Kakarot's palm struck Vegeta straight in the chest, blasting him downward like a comet. Boom! Vegeta smashed into the dirt outside the ring, making a second crater even deeper than the first. The announcer's voice rang out over the thunderous silence. Kakarot is the winner and will advance. A few hours passed. The ring was repaired, the shattered tiles replaced, the dust cleared. Now, a new match began. Dabu stood on one side, tall and focused. The warrior trained by Raditz clenched his fists, his eyes locked on his next opponent, Killa, a tall and muscular boxer with a loud reputation and flashy style. Fight! The announcer yelled. Dabu didn't hesitate. He vanished. Pow! A single punch. The moment Killa blinked, Dabu's fist had already connected with his jaw. The boxer collapsed instantly, unconscious, before he even knew the fight had begun. Gasps turned to stunned applause. Dabu is the winner and will advance, the announcer declared. And with that, we conclude the first round of the World Tournament. He paused as the crowd roared once again, already buzzing about what was coming next. We will continue with second round matches tomorrow morning. The matchups will be as follows. Krillin versus Yamcha, Mighty Mask versus Bardock, Piccolo versus Hercule, Kakarot versus Dabu. Who will be our champion? And that's it for today's episode, guys. If you watched to the end, then that could be an indication that you enjoy the series. So please leave a like on the video. Thank you and take care.